Hi, I'm John Hart, and today I wanted to talk to you about ketogenic diets. Recently, I did a few videos on fasting and intermittent fasting, and I got some really great input from them. And one of the most common questions that I had was what my opinion is on ketogenic dieting. And for those of you that don't know, ketogenic diet is a diet that is practically devoid of carbohydrates in the sense of processed carbohydrates, in the sense of sugars. We're talking about a high-fat diet, a moderate protein intake, and then a very, very low restricted intake of any processed carbohydrates. There are vegetables involved, obviously small fruits occasionally, but for the most part, we're talking about a small amount of these things. The majority of that diet consists of a very, as I said, high fat, high protein, moderately high protein intake. And the objective in ketogenic is to get the body to give up stored body fat as fuel. And, I have to say, that's the objective in the fitness realm, when it's discussed in the fitness realm. However, there's a lot of benefits to that type of diet when we talk about in the health realm, strictly health. So when it comes to my opinion on this, as a trainer, I'm hired out and I help a lot of people and advise and consult them in getting themselves in better shape. So the priority with most of them is in getting in better shape, and they already enjoy a fairly good amount of health. So the objective is not usually prioritized as let's get on the healthiest diet possible, but rather let's go ahead and get into best shape possible, and usually it's as soon as possible. So having said that, there are a lot of habits that I have to change and get my clients to change within themselves to keep them on plan. And ketogenic diets in general, when we take any food group, any commonly used, habitually used foods, and just toss them out the window and say, okay, that's it. From now on, you're not going to have any bread. And from now on, you're not going to have any rice. And from now on, you're not going to have any potatoes. And from now on, you're not going to have any pasta and all of that. And if I were to present that to a lot of people coming in and wanting to get in better shape, well, it's setting a lot of them up for failure. And especially when they see or they bring up that, well, they saw their friend get in great shape who was eating carbohydrates, the majority carbohydrates. They did eat fruit. They did eat large amounts of fruit. They did eat bread. They did eat rice. They did eat pasta and still got in fantastic shape. So it depends. See, my answer now depends on what is the priority. My opinion on ketogenic diet is that, in effect, it's actually a healthy way to go. I know several people in the cardiovascular disease community that rely on a ketogenic diet to keep their arteries clear, to keep them alive, to keep them in great shape. So in effect, sugar is one of the worst things that they can intake into their bodies. And those are people who have a tendency towards having bad cardiovascular health as far as their heart and their arteries go. So that being the case, I have to give some sort of merit, some sort of credit to that type of eating plan for a certain level of health. So if that is the priority, then I do end up recommending it on the health only side to clients as being a way to live. And they're usually, the type of people that already had a major health scare. But barring that health scare, most people just are not going to go down that road. Most people have a certain lifestyle they've lived up until that point, and they want to get in better shape. So the answer, again, keeps getting back to what is the priority? And ketogenic diet is fantastic for certain purposes. However, a more well-balanced, meaning some calories from protein, some calories from fats, some calories from carbohydrates of all types, not just natural foods. Once in a while, yeah, my clients, I'll have them eat processed bread. You know, it's something that if some of them enjoy it and it keeps them on their eating plan calorically and keeps them on their overall fitness plan through their sanity, right? So they're not driven crazy by being on a restricted plan all the time, then yes, I will include all of those foods in their plans. So, and I recommend it. But other than that, if I'm not motivated to push them towards the ketogenic end, if they're not motivated to go towards that end, then it's not something that I go ahead and recommend, 100% to everybody. I think it has a place. It definitely does. So that's my opinion of it. For more on my opinion as a trainer as well as an individual, you can take a look at some of the books that I've written. Physique 101, it's available on Amazon as well as through my website, MrAmericaHeart.com, and I do sign those copies through my website personally. So Physique 101 covers a lot on diet and training, and from beginner all the way through advanced, with routines as well. And then Mr. America Shape Up series covers what I did in the course of 1 year and a couple of months to go from out of shape to near contest shape. And it's with progression pictures as well. So in those two books, again, I go into more detail than I am right here, but you can go ahead and check them out for yourselves. Again, from my heart to you, John Hart, thank you very much.